This is a great experience. It's a unique experience to be able to have so many people in one place for something that's so positive. So I have a message in my talk to you guys for today. And the message is that it's not easy, but it's not impossible.
Oh.
Think about that. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. Now, one of the first is I'm going to tie it back to the past, because to know where you're going, you need to always remember where you came from, so that you know where you stand at the moment. So out of all the years and all the history, I have a couple of favorites. One of those years happens to be 1968. There's a lot about our program that has to do with 1968. The Olympians Tommy Smith and John Carlos did the physical power at the 1968 Olympics in the summer. They were both San Jose State students at that time. Clap it up. Also in 1968, we have some other things going on our campus at San Jose State that a lot of people don't know about. We'll get into those things a little bit later. One of them has to do with the Educational Opportunity Program, which is something that made it possible for a lot of the people that are on this stage to be here. A program that made it possible for a lot of people that preceded us and graduated to graduate from colleges. It's something that made it possible for the professors that we have on our stage to be here, to get to that position where they're able to come back and give us that knowledge. Very important program. Write your state senator and tell them you support it, because they're going to need that. They might try to cut it, but in 1968, there were a lot of things going on that are influenced with the things we have going on right now in 2008. First of all, there was a war going on that most people didn't agree with, the Vietnam War. And the causes of that war, besides a lot of death and destruction in the country that we were attacking that had never attacked us, the destruction that was going on was causing destruction here at home, because when you spend money somewhere else, you can't spend money at home. Is that right? So we see how people are losing their houses now, right, because of the housing crisis. And we see how hard for people to get jobs right now because the economy is bad. And if you look back in history, you look at 1968, you see those same things happening because of our mixed priorities, wrong prioritization of what was important. We didn't have emphasis on what was going on here. We wanted to go overseas and run somebody else's business. Maybe we should take some lessons from what happened in 1968. Another thing I was interested in 1968 was student activism. We've seen from the students that we have on the stage that activism still lives today, 2008. From our campus, we have a student who led a march to Sacramento to change the way the legislators fund us as students. We have students who led outreach to the victims of Hurricane Katrina and had our campus open up their doors and take some of those students in and their families. So that activism never died. It's still alive in our campus. Also in 1968, there was a campaign going on talking about change. Now this is something that might be a little bit different, because in 1968, we didn't have black members of Congress. In 1968. In 1968, we didn't have the right to vote like we have today. And in 1968, Senator Robert Byrd, who just endorsed Senator Barack Obama for president, Senator Robert Byrd, who's a member of the Ku Klux Klan, filibustered the Voting Rights Act. So that tells you how much can change in 40 years. A Klansman who stood on the floor and talked for a whole day to make sure that we couldn't vote is endorsed a black man to become president of the United States. Guess what? It's not easy, but it's not impossible. The challenges that we face, people coming out of communities where college is the priority. College, for some people, they don't even think it's an option. They don't have the money to pay for it. They don't have the support at home. They don't have the background. They go to schools that train you to go to prison as opposed to training you to go to college. It's not easy to make it out of these schools and make it in college, but it's not impossible. It's not easy to make it out of a neighborhood where more people die from your graduating class than graduate from college, but it's not impossible. It's not easy for the son of a janitor to be able to make it in the world and get degrees and become president of a university, or the guy who runs a law firm. But it's not impossible. what you get. Every person that you see on this stage will deserve all the prosperity that will come to them because of what they've accomplished. It's not easy. It's not easy for us to go back to our neighborhoods while we're in college and get students from those neighborhoods and bring them to our school so we can show them what it takes to make it here. But we do that, right? We've done that before, right? It's not impossible. It's not easy for you guys to come down here. I know gas is $4. And all of y'all drove to places far away because not all black folks here in San Jose, but you make it, and you make it all on time. It's not impossible. Change is good. Change is something that we always need. If we were able to stay static as a society, these people wouldn't be on this stage right now because in 1968, we didn't have this many people that were graduating from our school. In 1968, they wouldn't give you a job when you were walking up 10th Street looking for a place to work. In 1968, we couldn't get housing on campus or on the street. Because when you would come to the door, as one of my professors told me before, they're closed the curtain. The for rent sign is up, look at the students, but they're closed the curtain because you're not a student. Things have changed, right? It's not easy, but it's not impossible. They haven't changed too much, don't get me wrong. Because we still have a program that was set up in 1968 that has been on the chopping block that's been getting chipped at for the last few years, the Educational Opportunity Program. A lot of your students that are standing on this stage are here because of the Educational Opportunity Program. The work that we've done this year, a lot of it from Ben and myself and the students that you see, has been to make sure that that door that was opened for us by these fellows in 1968 remains open for these children that are sitting in the audience right now. And they're going to keep that door open so they can accomplish it. Because although it's not easy, it's not impossible. But if we take time and we make effort and we make an informed decision to make sure that what we do going forward is in mindful of what we did before. And it's making sure that we have doors open for students that are coming along behind us. Because that's our responsibility. For a lot of people when they graduate, is I need to do this for myself. But this is not a myself moment right now. This is an us moment. And my degree is not just for me. My degree is for my 5 little brothers who are standing in the audience right now that know they need to graduate from college. We're here for our families. We're here for you. You have a resource now. Nobody out here now can say that nobody in my family wants to college because you're here. You're seeing it, so you can believe it. So, no, that it's not easy, but it's not impossible. One more thing I want to do before I take my seat, because I've been up here for a little bit too long. So I want to have our black faculty and staff that will come out to support us, and that support us every day at San Jose State. The faces I look to when I felt like I wasn't going to be able to make it because once you get to that 3rd year or 4th year, when you get to those major classes, you start seeing faces that look like they were start dropping off. Freshman year, when you're in a remedial math class or remedial English class, you see a lot of people that look like you. But when you get to that junior year, and you're in that upper division class, especially if you're majoring in engineering and graduating or in science, pretty much if you're majoring in anything, you don't see a lot of faces like yours. One thing that I did to help me know that it wasn't easy, but it's not impossible, is every semester I've taken a class from one of the professors that's here today. So I know that if there's somebody that looks like me that came through when it was hard, leading this class, that made it all the way through the educational system to the end, to the doctorate. If there's people that have done that when it was hard, then I can do it right now no matter what happens. So you guys please stand to recognize all the work that you've done. Faculty and staff, please stand. And the example that you set, everyone on this stage